What's that supposed to mean? Are you done with the work for today? You have no meetings or interviews either, right?
Right.
So, why do you keep saying that you can't make it? At least say that you might be late.
I've told you already. We're nearing the deadline, so I don't know when they might need me. I need to be available within 30 minutes of being called.
Then just shut off your phone or something. You're efficient enough to make up for a day's work.
I can't do that either. This is the first time they've entrusted me with the front page.
Is your job more important than your girlfriend? Have you forgotten what day it is?
Of course I remember what kind of day today is.
Haruki,
Hmm?
your voice has been sounding faint since we started talking, you know? Or perhaps it's just that your voice is getting drowned out. I can hear your surroundings.
You're just imagining it.
You're feeling down about something. You really?
The train is leaving on line 2. Please stand clear of the doors.
Sorry, I have to get off the train. I'm hanging up.
In any case, come. You and I will go ahead.
I end the call and rush towards the doors before it closes, as if to attempt to avoid hearing the rest of what Takia had to say. This week is the first time I'm able to go home before midnight. Normally I wouldn't even go home today. It would usually take me a station's travel from Minami Suetsugo to Suetsugo-cho, after which I need to take a 15-minute walk. It's February 14th, Setsuna's birthday, and there's a party for her every year. The idea of holding a big home party on your birthday past the age of 20 might be laughable for those uninvolved. Even so, to the participants of this party in particular, it's an expected, sacred, and sublime event that they look forward to every year. Both family and friends gather in large numbers, casually chatting and eating from the grand buffet that the birthday girl made. The party itself feels very Western, yet contains something very uniquely Japanese, like a perfect blend of traditional Japanese and Western styles. I was at the center of the celebration last year, and the year before that as the #1 target for the other guests who have attended these parties. All because I dared to make the birthday girl mine. That's why this year,
Your voice has been sounding faint since we started talking, you know? Or perhaps it's just that your voice is getting drowned out?
how could my voice not grow weaker? After all, as things are now. A few days have passed since then. I haven't heard anything from Kazusa, and I haven't contacted her either. Back then, Kazusa merely glared at me with tears in her eyes, neither throwing herself into my arms nor rejecting me. Instead, she merely turned her back towards me and walked away in silence. It was so the both of us could have time to think about things, so we could dedicate everything to ensure that we both knew where we stood. We never set a deadline for such a conclusion. My hopes and anxieties for this situation to resolve within a day or two were for naught, making me realize that I'd need to steal my results for much longer on the 5th day. Her next concert is in 2 weeks, and today, having still not heard any decision from Kazusa, I head towards Setsuna's house. Perhaps I can find solace in knowing that we're surrounded by friends and family, or...
Hey.
Really, this girl. I can't see a trace of her anywhere when I'm dying to meet her. But she always happens to show up when I least expect it.
It's been 5 days. Have you been doing well?
I should be asking you the same thing.
Of course I haven't been well. Not when you pushed that awful choice on me. I thought that I too was going to get sick and collapse.
Well, almost as if she had forgotten how cruel a choice I had made. As if not even aware of how I felt during these past days, waiting for her. Kazusa merely looks at me teasingly.
Why are you looking at me like that? It's almost like you're regretting your choice. Like I said you would.
Of course not.
Well, I suppose it's only natural.
If you know already, then don't bring it up. How could I not be regretting this? I said from the very beginning I would. After all,
when thinking about the weight of what you said, it'd be weirder not to regret it.
Why do I have to separate from Setsuna? I love her. I could never come to hate her. I swore to her that my feelings would never change again. And I believed in what I promised her. And yet, why am I forced to make this decision? For the sole reason that I love Kazusa too? What's your answer? But I understand now. Kazusa has made her resolve. You're going to give me an answer soon, right? About whether you'll choose me or if you'll abandon me. She's aware that my feelings would waver over the few days that she was given to come to a conclusion. She's aware that after the day I said what I said to her, in the heat of the moment, I might have to spend the painstaking days that followed trying to put my feelings in order and come back to reality.
I went to the airport. I didn't plan to return to Vienna or anything. I didn't even have a ticket.
Then why?
I just wanted to remember.
Remember what?
The sadness I felt when we parted 5 years ago. That painful feeling that could tear my body apart.
Oh.
And I tried to compare it to the pain everyone else would feel from my foolish choice. And
Kazusa was trying to respect my resolve more than her own feelings. And if I were to suddenly change my mind, she would have accepted it.
You never asked, did you? Why I was waiting here for you.
Right.
You knew I'd figured it out, didn't you? About the place you are most certain to go today. Haruki, you were planning on going to Setsuna's birthday party, weren't you? That's why you got off at this station.
I did.
You were going to see her, but you wouldn't be able to say anything about me. You'd just hand her a present, eat together, and then finally give her a kiss goodbye, right?
Kazusa.
And then you would regret everything. You'd tell yourself to give up on me and reaffirm that you love Setsuna more than anything after all.
I wouldn't.
I knew that your feelings were still conflicted. I knew how much you would regret your choices.
Kazusa,
But even then, it's all over.
Huh?
I came here as fast as I could from the airport. I came here by train, taxi, and on my own 2 legs, and just barely made it in time. I came here to stop you. I came here to take you away.
Kazusa.
Please, don't see Setsuna from now on.
Kazusa tried to respect my decision more than her own feelings. And if I were to suddenly change my mind, she would have accepted it.
Haruki, I want you to betray Setsuna, and I want you to choose me.
But it seems I've managed to overcome Kazusa's trap. I've won this game of deception with the devil, and signed a contract in the depths of hell.
Please, always be by my side.
You're sure, right?
I love you.
You'll be left with nothing but me and your piano. You're okay with that?
I'd be fine with just you.
And in the moment of victory, Kazusa looked very pained and sorrowful, but also unbelievably happy. Kazusa! At that moment, we exchanged our vows in each other's embrace, and the natural next step would have been to share a passionate kiss. But instead of moving any further at this stage, she merely puts her lips against my finger. Nothing is over yet, and I know how horrible it will be to end it. Even though I can sense hesitation in her lips, I can also sense she desires more. The finger touching her lips soon becomes enveloped in her mouth, and I feel the force of her teeth. I can feel the tip of my finger getting licked, and then suddenly a sharp pain.
Haruki.
The strength of her teeth grows gradually stronger, and once blood starts flowing from my finger, Kazusa swallows.
From now on, you belong to me.
And with this, we establish an oath, signed in blood. February 16th, Saturday.
That's right! Kazusa-san is focusing on her practice again.
Since when?
Since yesterday, I think. I noticed that she hadn't returned to her hotel room, so I looked for her all day. Then it turned out she was in the studio.
I wonder what spurred such a turn of events.
She's back on her feet again. I think your feelings for her have finally reached her.
Is that what she said herself?
No, she hasn't actually left the studio yet, but I can tell.
What exactly can you tell?
Kazusa-san's feelings. I can tell how she's holding back her tears and doing her best out of kindness for her dear mother.
How can you claim that
can tell from listening to her piano playing. After all, I too am part of Tomoyoko's office.
Her playing, you say?
Come on, you listen too. Can you hear how hard she's working? Is this the sound of a girl fighting back her tears in kindness to her mother? You have to be kidding me. The train on line 1 is leaving shortly. Please stand clear of the doors.
The gates shut as the bells ring, and the unmanned vehicle quietly slides along its tracks. That's the third train I've let pass. I even decided to leave home 30 minutes early to make sure I had time to spare. But once I reached the transit station, I just collapsed. Oh no. Is it bad? Is it already so late? The first time I felt that something was off was yesterday night. But back then I thought I was just imagining it. But today, when I got on the train at Minami Suetsugo, I was made aware of how optimistic my self-diagnosis had been. On top of a headache, nausea, and a chill, my heart was beating like an alarm bell, and my shivering hand looked almost funny as it tried to grab onto the hanging train straps. At first, I thought it was just the train's heating that was too strong, and that I'd feel better once I got used to it. Yet, it seems that the heat emanating from my body wasn't going away that easily. And before long, even the other passengers started noticing the paleness of my face. And the closer I got to my destination, the worse I felt. When I got off to switch trains, I was overwhelmed by a numb feeling in my entire body, such that it hurt to even walk. Then, when I finally reached the platform where the next train was going to stop, I breathed a sigh of relief and sat down on a nearby bench. And almost as if roots sprouted from my legs, I found myself in my current situation, unable to move. What's happening to me? I have no time for this.
About Saturday. Thank you for the text. Don't apologize so much. It's not your fault that you couldn't come. It was unreasonable of me to hold the party on a weekday to begin with, so I don't mind. I also heard from Takia-kun. Is it really true that they entrusted you with the front page? That's amazing, Haruki-kun. To think that they entrusted you with so much responsibility in your first year. You and I are super excited about it. Congratulations! Your work finally paid off. I'm so happy for you. Changing the subject, remember when you invited me out on Saturday? Don't take this as compensation for that, but I'd like to see you again if you have time. Actually, it has been so long that I'd love to. It might be a bit unfair of me to say this, even though I already said I didn't mind. I'm sorry. In any case, given that you've allowed me to decide on the time and place we'll meet up, I'll take you up on that offer. 1 p.m. in front of Arumi Station. It's a bit far away, but I hope it's fine. We spent every Christmas there together up until now, yet we haven't been there once this season, and I feel a bit down about that. Let's go to the Arumi Integral Hotel like always. enjoy a wonderful dinner? No, a wonderful lunch? Does that sound good? I'll be waiting for your reply.
I already know the reason. After all, I started feeling sick around the same time I got this text yesterday. It's because I accepted Setsuna's innocent words, an invitation she had meant from the bottom of her heart. About Saturday. Ever since then, whenever I think about her, worry about her, feel guilty about her, I remember what I'm hiding from her. I feel a restlessness in my body and heart, and it all stops working. This must be punishment for straying from the right path. My body's punishment for me. Sorry, I just woke up. I feel a bit under the weather. I measured my temperature and got over 39 degrees Celsius. I'm really sorry, but I don't think I can come. So we should probably postpone our date for today. You're probably already there, aren't you? Sorry for the late response, and I'm really sorry for keeping you waiting there. Also, don't worry about coming and tending to me. It might be the COVID. I'm going back to sleep. I have my medicine right here, so don't worry. I'll call you once I feel better. Forcing my fingers to move, I write the text. It'd be much faster to just call her, and it probably would be the right choice. Despite that, I focus my weary eyes on the cell phone and continue typing, because hearing Setsuna's voice is too hard for me. Nothing I can help. Going outside in this state was impossible from the beginning. My shivering and my cold sweat won't stop. And I can't stop the nausea and the thirst in my throat. Going to that windy coastal park in Arumi would be suicidal. I can't help it. Things are painful enough as they are. I'm gonna go home. I'll send this text to Setsuna and go out some other time. I'll sleep in a warm bed for a day or two. By the end of the weekend, I should be back to normal. And if possible, I'll be back to work on Monday and get my first draft checked. The next time I'll be able to see Setsuna will be next weekend. My present will be rather late. I hope her mood won't be too soured by it. And without settling any matters, we'll be able to continue as a couple for the winter. Am I feeling relieved over not having to settle anything today? Am I taking delight in postponing the plan? Am I taking delight in postponing the pain? I can't. Sorry, I missed the train. I'll be 10 minutes late, so wait just a bit longer. Don't be stupid. What purpose would that serve? How could I let such a mild punishment make me give up? If I run away from painful encounters now, if I develop a habit of turning away from that which I need to face, then who's going to protect her? I have to go to where Setsuna is, to where my judgment awaits. I have to accept my punishment. Kazusa! Because I have someone I need to protect. Someone who is not Setsuna. Kazusa.
Awake, are we? Perhaps not. Did you just call my name just now? No, I was just looking at you sleeping. I see. What's the matter? Did Gotara-kun give you sweet whispers of love in your sleep? Was I asleep? No. Huh? But you passed out. Oh. When I came in, you kept playing without noticing I was here. And then you suddenly collapsed. Oh, I see. You must have been playing without eating or drinking for who knows how many hours. Perhaps all day even. I don't know. Of course, you're going to pass out without a single sip of water or any sugar. Here, take this sugar cube. And here I was thinking you were skipping practice again, only to see this absurdity. I'm not being absurd. I'm just trying to make up for lost time. No, it's absurd. Your playing isn't even like usual. You think so? Maybe I'm just a bit rusty. No, the sound itself is almost perfect, but the person playing it was a different Tomo Kazusa. I'm really not smart enough to understand what that means. It's like you're desiring some kind of punishment. Your playing has that kind of tragic feel to it. Oh. Personally, I don't care for it, but I'm sure there are lots of people who would love it, to the point of reaching into their very souls. Is that a compliment? Tell me, Kazusa. What are you trying to atone for? Oh. Did I guess right? If I told you I wanted to make up for all the trouble I caused you, would you believe me? I'd believe half of it. But if you're saying that's everything, I won't. That's my mother for you. She can see through everything. I'm sure that applies to all mothers. Though you haven't done a single motherly thing for me up until now. I guess so. I just wanted to try using that line once. Idiot. I suppose the difference is paper thin. I only wanted to try bragging about it. Hey, Mom. What is it? I think that perhaps I won't be able to become the Kazusa you want me to be. Do you mean the successor that Tomoyoko wants, or the daughter your mother wants? I'll apologize in advance. Sorry. Kazusa, sorry for being an ungrateful daughter. I'm sorry for being so weak. Now then, good work on your job this week.
Happy belated birthday, Setsuna.
And congratulations to you for your first magazine, Haruki-kun. I hope your first big project sells well.
Thank you for the Valentine's chocolate.
Thank you for the birthday present.
Sorry for being late today.
I'm sorry too for picking such an expensive place.
Don't worry about it. We've been coming here once every year.
Yeah, back to our roomie.
Yeah, it's been a year and 2 months since last time.
We've got such delicious food in front of us, yet here we are just toasting.
You're right. Let's eat.
Okay. I've actually been hungry for a while now. Let's eat.
Itadakimasu! As if to say that this politeness isn't something out of place. Setsuna puts her hands together, getting caught in this relaxed atmosphere Setsuna created. I kept on toasting with her. A natural smile appeared on my face, and talking became easier.
Wow! This is delicious! I can understand why the lunch set alone is so expensive.
I already told you not to worry about the price. This much really isn't an issue.
Oh, sorry. I always get bothered by prices in places like this.
Stop worrying about the cost of food today. I don't want to be reminded of who's paying for it.
I'll be careful.
I sigh with a smile on my face and start eating. But it really does taste good. Definitely worth the cost. And then I realize that I've recovered enough to be able to discern the taste of my food. In 30 minutes, I forced it out of my body. I found a way forward in my heart and blocked any path back. When I came to our meeting spot and apologized to her, she wiped off the sweat on my forehead. But that sweat was from running as fast as I could. Right now, I don't have a headache, nor do I feel cold, because I closed it all off in my mind. A closed off part in my mind where Kazusa's faint smile, her unabashedly angry expression, and her childlike, tear-stained face are all stored, and a place for the way she looked at me when we made our oath, so I can recall them whenever I want to.
It sure is cold outside.
It's right next to the sea, after all.
The sea breeze is really strong. Are you okay, Haruki-kun?
What about you, Setsuna?
I'm fine. I always wanted to come here at least once this winter, after all.
That's not a very good reason.
Hey, want to go to the shopping mall? They're starting to sell springtime clothes now.
In this cold? Why does fashion have to be in such a hurry all of the time?
Well, I've never heard of fashion that is behind the times. Come on, hurry up. Actually, why not take it slow? Fashion comes and goes, but the shop won't go anywhere.
You're right. Without running, but still quite quickly, Setsuna guides me to the next destination. Not close enough to touch me, not far enough for her voice not to reach me. A distance just close enough for our hearts to connect. She doesn't hold my hand. She doesn't cling to me. She doesn't ask me to kiss her. And I naturally accept that she isn't doing any of those things. Is it because it's evening? Is it because we haven't seen each other for so long she doesn't know how to gauge the appropriate distance? Or does she feel so secure in our relationship that she doesn't feel the need to be clingy?
Hey, Haruki-kun? Do you think this necktie is too flashy?
No, not really. If anything, I'd say it's quite classy.
So, you like it?
Yeah, I suppose so.
I see. If you like it, then I'll go with this. Let me take this to the register.
Wait a second. Isn't this place Barbar's?
Right. It's an English brand, isn't it?
Give me that. Look at the price of this thing. You don't need anything this expensive.
It might be expensive, but these things are made to last. I'd probably get more value out of this than a cheap one.
That may be true, but this is far too expensive. Akagi or Unipul should be more than good enough.
Weren't you the one telling me not to worry about money just before?
Yeah, but this is over 10,000 yen. I can't accept a gift like this without a particular reason. I never said I was going to give it to you, Haruki-kun. This is for my dad. His birthday is next month. I suppose it's only natural you misunderstand. After all, I even asked your opinion of it.
If I was buying you a present, I'd never show it to you in advance.
Setsuna? Yay! You fell right in my trap. Jeez. And like that, I feel myself caught up in Setsuna's kindness and her cheerfulness. That usual motherliness she has, and that type of familiar attitude, a bit different from what I'm used to. Both combine to make me feel better. So, I find myself with pain in my heart, unable to bring up what I came to tell her. Instead, making Setsuna heal that pain for me. I find myself in an inescapable dead end, one filled with contradictions.
It's even colder than before.
The sea is right in front of us after all. After we finished our shopping and drank our tea, the sun had already gone down by the time we left the shopping mall. The sun had given us what little warmth it could during the day through the clouds. But now all that remains is enveloping darkness and the merciless wind. It's a testament to how long we have been here together. Yet, during all that time, I found myself unable to bring up what I came to tell her. As far as anyone is concerned, I'm just having a date with my girlfriend. Before I knew it, I felt happy. I felt peaceful.
It's always cold here, isn't it?
It's because we always come here on Christmas.
It was even snowing here 2 years ago.
For 2 years, this has been our special place. In a way, this was where fate bound us together. Everything fell apart on Christmas 2 years ago, and we made up for that last Christmas. And this time, after the two of us spent Christmas not here, but in France, we're no longer capable of preventing the cogs of fate from turning.
I hope you don't feel bad. I was completely in the wrong back then.
No, you weren't. Because that time
No, I was in the wrong. But I won't apologize, because that is also part of our history.
Our history.
Both the good and the bad. The times we fought, the times we avoided each other, the times we made up. It's because so much happened between us that we are here now.
As Setsuna raises her hand to hold her hair, a radiance, unlike any other I've seen until now, shines from her finger. It's not some cheap ring you can buy at an accessory shop in Onjuku, but a radiant, twinkling jewel made in Paris.
A lot of things happened, but we got through them together.
Setsuna, I loved her for 5 years. I got her a ring twice, and just 2 weeks ago, I proposed to her. And now,
We got through it together.
I can now say with certainty that I love her from the bottom of my heart. She's always so cheerful, always so energetic. At the very least, she's brave enough to pretend to be all those things when I'm around. I'm not biased or exaggerating when I say this. She is, without a doubt, the best woman I have ever met.
Let's continue walking slowly. We don't have to rush. Go at your own pace, and I'll always keep up with you.
She's different from her in every aspect. After all, she's always angry, picky about her food, lacks manners, is unconcerned about others, and makes absolutely no attempt to better herself. She's an incomplete, selfish genius who's given up on working towards anything other than her piano.